Hi, welcome to Canvas and Pixels by Next Layers. In this video, I will be introducing us to Adobe InDesign. Adobe InDesign is the most intelligent software I have ever used in working as a graphic designer for over 20 years. It can do interactive PDF, it can do book layout, it can do magazine, it can do annual report, it can even do a flyer and some other things. Let's dive into it. In this video, I'll be taking you through the layout of, Adobe InDesign. Now, I already have my Adobe InDesign opened, and this is just showing, previous works I have done, magazine, annual report, and books are the ones that are showing now. Now, to open a new file in Adobe InDesign, you either click this blue button that says New File, or you come to File, and then scroll to New and say New Document. Or you simply press Ctrl N or Command N if you are on Mac. So I just click the blue button that says New. So a dialog box will generally pop up when you click that new button, and I think it might just be good that we quickly talk about this dialog box. Now, for these classes, I'll be focusing on design for print. Maybe I can dive into web later. Web and mobile are not so far from each other because it's just unit of measurement and different in dimension that differentiates them. So let's go back to where it took us to first. We came to a place where it says recent document. Maybe those are the recent dimensions I have opened. Then you have print. Now this one will tell you different sizes in prints that are available. You have A4, letter, legal, and other sizes that are not even mentioned here. But that's not my main focus. My focus is this right hand side where we have other options of, other options and other things that we need to modify. So if you are choosing any file any paper size, the width and the height will be spelled out here. And this is the unit of measurement. Currently, this is showing in millimeters. However, there are other units of measurement. You can see points, picas, inches, millimeters, centimeters, and other ones are specified there. Please feel free to choose a unit of measurement that best works for you. In my own case, my best unit of measurement is inches, so I'll switch to inches. Now you could just give your file a name here and just say file name, for example. It could be anything. I always specify that you do proper naming for your file in case you are looking for the file next time. So this is giving me the width in inches, height in inches. This is orientation, asking me whether I want it to be either portrait or landscape. Portrait or landscape. This is asking me how many pages I want. If I'm doing a flyer, I think 1 page is okay. And this is asking me if I want a facing page. Now, facing pages will be useful if I'm doing something like annual report, brochure, magazines. And it's asking me, do I want to start my numbering from number 1 or you want to start from number 20? You can specify how you want to start your numbering. And in case you didn't specify, we could still modify it when we open the file. And I will show you that in later videos. Primary text frame is useful if you are doing something like annual report, books, magazine, because it helps you to link the pages to each other. But for now, I'll leave it. And then if you are doing a file or we are working on a document that has multiple columns, this is where you specify the number of columns. In case you don't remember to specify the number of columns here, it could still be done when we get into the new file. This is the gutter. The gutter is the space between columns. And then you have margins. Margins, probably one of the things that is ignored in design that I've seen today is the space between the edge of your paper and where your text stops. The space between the edges of your paper, I mean top, bottom, right, left, and where your text stop. I know sometimes we can allow images to bleed, and sometimes we could do something maybe like design, making our text bleed, but the text that will be read has to stay within a place where it won't be cut off after you are done printing. Then you have bleeds and slug. I mean, when you are doing printing, I sure advise that you add bleeding. That way you could retain your marginal space that you have kept at the beginning of your design. Now, you notice this button right here that says that is like a chain. Once it's locked down, it means if I put one figure here and I press my tab, all the sides will be affected, either top, bottom, inside, outside, all will be affected. But when I unlink this chain, if I change this figure right here, maybe I put this to 0.75 and I do a tab, you see, it keeps only that portion alone. Only that portion will be affected, others will not be affected. So let's just dive into it. I'll say create. Let's see what happens when I click on create. Now we have a new document. I will just quickly take you around my workspace and then tell you how to change to your own workspace. Now, this is your menu bar at the top. Your menu bar at the top. In case you want to go back to that startup page, you click on this home. It takes you back to that startup page. You see that we're back there. And then I can go back to my InDesign like so. This is my new file that we created the other time. Your menu bar is the first one. Your property bar. This will change depending on the tool you have changed to. If I change to text tool, did you notice it has changed? If I change to rectangle tool, it has changed. So depending on which tool you have changed to, it will change the properties. I always recommend that you go back to your selection tool once you are done with any other tool. Please always go back to your selection tool. Now, this is your toolbox. Yours might be in 2 columns, but it doesn't matter. And then you have your horizontal and vertical ruler. This is your workspace. Anything that goes outside this workspace will not be printed. It will not be printed. And then you have different, work palettes, that you use to navigate all through InDesign. Now, because this is a layout I've been working with for some time, it might be different from what you will see. Now, for you to change your layout, you go to Windows, Workspace. You notice that mine is in book. Even this book is a modified one because that's not the way it looks like. If you have modified it, I need to take it back to what it should look like. Just come to reset. Just watch what will happen now when I reset. Now, this is what it will look like when you choose book workspace. It will have pages panel, you have layout, you have links, have paragraph style, and several other things. Sometimes you need all of them. Sometimes you don't need them in the immediate. So you could remove what you don't need and then bring them back when you need them. So how do I remove what I don't need? I just there is a tiny 3 dots up here. I just drag this out and close. I don't want all those panels for now. There could be something that I need later, and close. I also will not need CC library. Just knock it off. I will need swatches and strokes, but they usually come up. On my property bar when I'm working. So I could knock them off for now. If I need them, I'll bring them back. I'll close them like so. I don't want object style for now. I could also come back to text wrap if I need it. Now, usually this is all I need to start, and it's remaining just one more thing. It's called character style. I have paragraph style, I'll add character style. And how do I do that? I go to Windows. I think I come to, let me see, styles, yes, and I say character style. I'll drag it from here and dock it with this guy. So I have paragraph style and character style together. Now for me, this is just my perfect workspace and I'm ready to go. Now, one more thing I wanted to mention is that you could save your workspace by going to Windows, Workspace, and say New Workspace and give it your name. In my own case, I could give it my name and say Next Layers. That way, and click OK. Next time when I come in there, I don't need to start all over again. I just come here. You see, it has given it a name. And if I switch to Essential Classic, for example, now this is Essential Classic, and I want it to go back to my own workspace, something that I prefer working with, I'll just come here and say Next Layers. I mean, that's fast. It just takes me to the layout that is comfortable for me. I hope you have been able to learn something in this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. That way you could be reminded when I put on a new video. See you in the next video. Bye.